Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, word to my brethren all across the United Kingdom. Shout out to the UK. Speaking of the UK, and big news coming out. This literally just broke 7 minutes ago on ESPN at the time of shooting this video, but big news because it was reported that UFC CEO or whatever you want to call him, the guy who basically runs the UFC president, Dana White, he has announced his intention to expand his promotional interest in the boxing, and he is setting his sights squarely on Anthony Joshua. Now, this is very big news, very ambitious news, because we're hearing that Dana White is going to try to make a bid to sign Anthony Joshua to a multi-fight deal that could be worth upwards of $500 million. We're talking 500 million, 500 M's on you fools, because that's what Dana White's trying to do. He's trying to come into boxing with his new company, Zuffa Boxing, and he's trying to make nothing short of a splash. So it also is worth noting that Dana White does plan on being at Joshua versus Parker, which is going to happen very soon. So with that being said, they asked Anthony Joshua about this, and Anthony Joshua has made it very clear in his statements that he has no intention of leaving Eddie Hearn, who he's currently under, but he is open to doing business with the UFC and Dana White. So here's what Anthony Joshua said in regards to Dana White and maybe him signing him. He said, I quote, "Listen, I'm riding with Eddie. I've been riding with Eddie. He got me from the get-go. I'm not into the UFC, so I don't know what their plans are. I'm interested because we can all work together. Remember, mine and Eddie's relationship is a really good working relationship, and I'm sure Eddie has an interest in working with Dana White. If it's good business, it makes sense. We'll listen 100%, and it makes sense. We're all ears. I'm happy that Dana is coming into the game. Hopefully, he can add some excitement, and we can progress forward and make some good money and make some good fights." And that's what it is. So, Anthony Joshua obviously has gotten to a point where, he is a marquee name. He's broken pay-per-view records in the UK. He's been someone that, he has a following, and he sold out Wembley Stadium, which is over 100,000 seats. He sold out the Principality Stadium in Wales, which is where the Champions League. For those of you who may watch soccer, the Champions League final was at the Principality Stadium. So he sold that out against Tottenham, and he sold that out again in the next unification fight with Joseph Parker. So he's obviously shown that he has a big fan base, and he'll be slated to make his American debut soon. And he's actually right, because I had a chance to interview Eddie Hearn in November when Daniel Jacobs and Gerald Millerhouse were fighting on this first Matchroom USA card. So I had a chance to actually talk to Eddie Hearn in November, and I asked him, if he was interested in working with Dana White, and he told me, he looked me square by eye, he said, "BT, Bruno Mars, I would love to work with Dana White." And I'll leave that interview for you guys in the comments and the end screen annotations. But that's a relationship that I'm sure they could work out. I think it'd be good for boxing. I'm very excited to see how Dana White does coming into boxing, because I feel like a guy with his level of ambition, his level of success already in another sport, to get another guy like that, it's good for the sport of boxing. Obviously, boxing isn't structured like the UFC because boxing, there's no monopoly on the sport like the UFC has on the MMA. So it's a much different game. I'm sure Dana White will figure that out as he gets more into the sport. But I'm very interested to see what happens. Anthony Joshua got to take care of business, because he's going to be involved in should he take care of Joseph Parker like many people are expecting him to, he's going to have a big fight coming up on his hands in Deontay Wilder. And it'll be the first time two heavyweights are fighting for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world since Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, and that's a very big deal. That holds weight, that holds clout, and I'm sure Dana White would love to get his hands involved in that. But I applaud the ambition. I genuinely do. And Eddie Hearn is on record on True School Sports, obviously, and in many other news outlets, but definitely on True School Sports. Eddie Hearn is on record saying that he already wants to work with Dana White. So why not make it happen? It makes all the sense in the world, and I don't see why it could be a bad thing. It'd be no different than when Don King and Donald Trump worked together with Mike Tyson. It'd be along the lines of the same thing. I guess the only difference would be, and actually, if you think about it, Dana White, Eddie Hearn, you got to look at it like this, okay? Eddie Hearn is working here. He's now branching off here in America. It makes perfect sense in the world that you'd want to get with a guy like Dana White, who's already shown success in another sport, because then Dana White could may help make your life easier by helping you get venues. It'd be easier to get venues, particularly on the West Coast, in the big fight towns like L.A., Vegas, the places like that. Dana White has the clout. Dana White has the pool, and Dana White could be that bridge that makes Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing USA venture very, very successful. I'll probably do a video on that, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, Dana White wants to do business with Anthony Joshua, so I want you guys in the comments. Let me know what you think down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single video, my name is Brother Taylor, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dane. So until next time, take care, guys.